Good evening, class. My name is Amanda Morrison, and I'm here to refute Side B of Debate 5. I do believe that the UN is an amazing organization that does so much good for this world, and I have many examples as to why. The United Nations was coined in 1942, where 26 nations pledged that their governments would fight against Axis powers, but came into existence in October of 1945, where 50 other countries came together to formulate the United Nations Charter. The United Nations is responsible for maintaining international peace and security, for protecting human rights, delivering humanitarian aid, promoting sustainable development, and upholding international law. To maintain international peace and security, the United Nations works to prevent conflict, help those in conflict find peace. The UN is a common mediator for peacekeeping, or they support third parties. The UN works on ensuring that peace is constant. To ensure peace, the UN often mediates or supports third-party mediation. Examples for this can be seen with Sierra Leone, Liberia, Burundi, the North-South conflict in Sudan, and Nepal. The UN also has a peace-building commission that supports peace efforts in countries emerging from conflict. To protect human rights, the United Nations formulated the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948 to ensure that internationally no one's rights were violated. They combat sexual violence in conflict. They promote women's rights and well-being. They combat violence against women, promoting freedom of the press, promoting freedom of expression, promoting disability rights, improving lives of indigenous people. They improve literacy and education, and they uphold the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the UDHR. According to the UN, they have focused world attention on cases of torture, disappearance, arbitrary detention, and other violations, and have generated international pressure on governments to improve their human rights records. All are big accomplishments, and all have done a considerable amount for the world today. The United Nations is also responsible for delivering humanitarian aid, and its charter, it states that it aims to achieve international cooperation in solving international problems of an economic, social, cultural, or humanitarian character. One of the UN's main goals is to achieve international cooperation in solving international problems of economic, social, cultural, or humanitarian character, and in promoting and encouraging respect for human rights. To do so, the UN seeks solutions to climate change, help countries manage with climate change, protects the environment, protects the ozone layer, provides safe drinking water, and bans toxic chemicals. Lastly, the UN aims to uphold international law. It does so by prosecuting war criminals, strengthening international law, resolve international disputes, combat international crime, assist refugees, help disaster victims, and combat the worldwide drug issues, which are pretty extensive, if you should ask me. Some examples of the UN making the world a better place can be seen while looking back to July of 2011. The United Nations General Assembly admitted South Sudan as a new member state. Also, another example of the UN and their amazing work can be seen in June of 2012. The UN held the Earth Summit in Rio, coming up with conclusions about what we want for the world and how to help the Earth survive and thrive. And in July of 2013, the UN was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their prohibition of chemical weapons, which, as we know, is a very big issue. In January of 2014, the UN held its first youth assembly where Malala Yousafzai spoke. In October of 2015, the UN held the UN Sustainable Development Summit, where they came up with 17 sustainable development goals, some of which were combating poverty, wasting less food, vaccinating to end disease, strengthening education systems worldwide, promoting and having equal rights for all, promoting and acting efficiently in terms of energy, In 2017, the UN agencies and partners worked with the government of Bangladesh to respond to the humanitarian aid crisis. Also in 2017, at the UN General Assembly, they launched the Spotlight Initiative, which is a global multi-year initiative that aims to put the issue of eliminating gender-based violence at the center of efforts to achieve gender equality and women's empowerment. The UN never stops trying to make the world a safer and healthier place with the initiatives, assemblies, the UDHR, and their actions. The UN is the world's saving grace.